Now let's get into the meat and potatoes of this show.
All right.
Oh my goodness. Disney has released their entire release slate for 2025, and it is so much stuff, you guys. It is so much. We're going to kind of just boogie through this list, and that way we can get to everybody's thoughts on them. So let's just start here at the top. This is one that I know Ray and I are very excited about. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man coming in January. We then have, of course, Captain America Brave New World, which just had that wonderful new trailer pop out. Oh my gosh, so amazing. Win or Lose is hitting us in February. That is a Pixar Disney Plus venture. Daredevil Born Again, of course, the much anticipated series, kind of a reboot of that show. Snow White with Rachel Zegler. The Amateur, which is a film we all just watched a trailer for with Rami Malek, looks very interesting, based on a novel of the same name. Andor Season 2 is hitting us in April. Then, of course, we've got Thunderbolts, asterisk, in May. Lilo and Stitch, the live-action Lilo and Stitch, is happening in May as well. Then we have Elio, that is our Pixar theatrical release that's happening. The Ironheart series is going to be happening in June. Fantastic Four First Steps, I can't believe it is July.
So close.
That music is so good, and I can't believe it's already happening in July. We're getting Fantastic Four before Blade. What is happening?
Yeah.
We then, of course, have Eyes of Wakanda, another animated series going to Disney Plus. Freakier Friday, Lindsay Lohan, Jamie Lee Curtis, and, oh my gosh, our little cutie from The Acolyte, Manny Jacinto. We've got Marvel Zombies happening on October, just in time for spooky season. Tron Ares, also in October with a theatrical release. Predator Badlands is happening November 7th. That's Logan's actual birthday, so now we've got a birthday movie to go see. Zootopia 2 happening at the end of November, just in time for around Thanksgiving. Wonder Man, the Disney Marvel Plus series, that is happening as well. And then last but certainly not least, Avatar Fire and Ash, December 19th.
Wow. That's 2 releases every month outside of January and July.
Yeah. That's a lot. This is a behemoth of a list. And I know there's certain things that I'm particularly excited for on here. I'm really pumped about Daredevil coming back to the screen. I have loved those new trailers for Captain America as well. It seems like we're getting back into that great spy thriller kind of thing. I'm really pumped about Spider-Man. I'm really, really excited about it. And man, Zootopia 2. I love Zootopia. I think those are my kind of most anticipated things here.
Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's episode, Miracle Made. Guys, it's hot outside and your nighttime bedroom temperature has a huge impact on your sleep quality. So if you wake up too hot or too cold, I highly recommend you check out Miracle Made's bed sheets. Miracle Made sheets are inspired by NASA and use silver-infused fabrics that are temperature regulating so you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long. There are just so many things that make these sheets so fantastic. We already mentioned the self-cooling properties for better quality sleep, but they're also self-cleaning. These sheets are infused with silver that prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. No more gross odors. So go to trymiracle.com/Campea. That's TRYMIRACLE.com/Campea to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo code Campea at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. So upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/Campea and use the code Campea to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/Campea to treat yourself. Thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring this episode.
John, when you hear this huge list, what are the things that stand out for you on it? What are you excited about, and what's kind of a little bit more non-plus for you?
Well, I mean, the first thing we should probably say is that, okay, yes, when you look at that list, on first look, you think, what a huge, monstrous list. Like, what happened to Bob Iger saying quality over quantity and all that kind of stuff? But we do have to remember, this is 4 studios releases, right? This is Marvel Films, Pixar Films, Lucasfilm, and 20th Century. So, I mean, when you look at that, like, you're immediately overwhelmed, but we do have to keep in mind this is like 4 different studios putting out their stuff. I can't get excited for Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Come on.
I just can't. It looks stupid to me. And I know this is such a role reversal, but in a world where we have the animated Spider-Verse stuff, no way this comes anywhere close to that.
You know what's
Um,
funny? You
fair.
mentioned that though. The stylization of it. I'm not saying it's anything like Beyond the Spider-Verse or anything
No.
like that, but I do kind of like that. It's kind of that Steve Ditko, like it's like a retro feel to it.
Yeah. It's
It
very
could be
comic
totally
booky.
silly. I might jump into it a couple episodes and be like, all right, I'm out. But after I realize how like retro it looks, I'm that kind of edges me toward
Is
it.
it kind of like
Oh, yeah, I mean, the visual style could very well work
Yeah,
and
but
work
this-
really well. So hopefully that does.
Yeah.
The Amateur is one that I honestly forgot about. They previewed The Amateur with Rami Malek for us back at CinemaCon in April, right here in Vegas, and it looked great. It looked really, really good. So I'm excited about seeing that. Obviously, Daredevil is the big one, And by the way, Lilo and Stitch. Guys, it very quietly is suddenly only 6 months away. And I don't know
Dang.
about you, but for me, like when I would think Lilo and Stitch, it was still an idea in the ether that was still felt like it was a year and a half away. It's actually coming in 6 months. And Fantastic Four First Steps is so close. I still have to admit, I'm not all that excited for the other animated stuff like Marvel Zombies. I mean, I feel like this is just them doubling down on that one episode of What If. That was one of the best episodes that they did. But who knows? I mean, that might work out okay. But I mean, the big stars of the list for me are, in no particular order, Andor season 2, which I can't even begin to express how ludicrously excited I am for it. Daredevil Born Again, and probably Thunderbolts. You know what? I'm actually more excited for Thunderbolts than I am for Fantastic Four.
Wow.
And I'm very excited for Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for it, but I'm getting more and more pumped for Thunderbolts.
The excitement that I had for the first Guardians and their marketing is what I'm getting for Thunderbolts now.
Ooh, I can see
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Interesting enough, Marvel leads the list on this with 9 releases in 25.
Yes.
Unsurprisingly, Lucasfilm only has 1 release, which is Andor.
Yeah. Again, and I don't know when we're going to get anything else in there. Now, with the Marvel thing being 9, I think one of the things to keep in mind too is that, and Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, but like I think like 2026 is much more thin for Marvel's release schedule.
Yes.
So we're going to get a lot of stuff here now. A lot of this stuff was stuff that was already in the beginning stages in the pipe before the regime changeover at Disney and stuff like that. So again, there's a few of the things there that I'm not all that interested in. I'm still dying to see. I want to get more word on Don Cheadle's Armor Wars. Like, where's that? Because we haven't really heard much about it since they made the change from it being a Disney Plus series to being a theatrical film. But I think Don Cheadle is right up there with one of the more underutilized players that they have in the MCU. So I hope we get some official word on that soon.
I agree, because that was just kind of quietly removed from the list that we had before of just, you'll get that at some point in time, maybe.
I pretty much have
soon.
the same expectations as you guys across the board, except you guys didn't mention this in a D23, the expo that we covered on the show. Win or Lose really stood out to me. Because at
It
first I
looks
thought,
cute.
oh, okay, it's going to be a cute, like, Bad News Bear style thing. But then it gets trippy. Like
It gets
like
weird.
world reality shifting trippiness to it. And so I'm really looking forward to what they do with that.
When
I know what Ray's number one thing is. Ray's
Thunderbolts
number
and
one
Elio.
thing.
Elio.
Elio.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
do that.
What are you excited about with that, Ray?
It's just because it's in space. It has like the kooky aliens and I just found the first teaser like charming. I mean, I'm not really into this is Pixar, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
So I expect a great story. And it's just space. I mean, it's a kid in space. What else can you ask for?
Exactly.
You know what it feels like to me? It feels like this trailer came out in 2022. It was probably 2023.
Right.
But it almost feels like a reverse Lilo and Stitch, where like Lilo and Stitch, the alien, is now in the human world and the fish out of the water. And Elio feels like a reverse of that, where the kid is in outer space and is the fish out of water. But it looks really cute.
Yeah, I will say I need to see more though. We had that one little little teaser where he's being questioned by the aliens, and they were kind of funny. But I need to see more of the story, what's going on. But I do love that it's in space, because
what's the release date on that?
Or not, you like Lightyear, those space shots that they had, especially when they're floating across that dark abyss of stars, was, I almost got dizzy watching it on that big screen. Like it was such an awesome. They know how to do the field of death and stuff like that.
Also, speaking of Lilo and Stitch, we touched on this yesterday with the cast. This is photoshopped, but that's still the that's what they would look like either way. That's the actress. I think they nailed it on the casting, at least for Lilo and Stitch. So.
I'm getting more and more excited about this.
Yeah,
I am. I'm getting more and more excited about Lilo. I admit, at first I thought it was a strange choice to do as a live action, but I am warming up to it.
Here's a quick question for you guys. Quick question. Is Lilo and Stitch supposed to be just a remake, live action remake? So can I start with that?
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
Start with that movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't. I mean, like, if you want to watch the cartoon, it's great.
I might do it backwards. I might go backwards. Yeah. If I like this live action, then I'll go back.
It's just a
do
rendition
that. Then you can watch the old movie, and then you can watch the series that they did as well.
Yep.
It's cute.
You don't need to watch the series.
There's some cute moments. Ray would like it. Ray would enjoy it. That's a Ray show. And Lilo and Stitch, honestly, in my opinion, is a near perfect animated film. So they have big shoes to fill on this one.
So maybe I don't skip the animated film.
Maybe you start. Maybe it's like, you know how when they adapt a movie to a book, and if you read the book first, you're like, this movie's trash. But if you didn't read the book first, you're like, this movie's pretty fun.
Oh, okay.
It might be like that. Who's to say? I don't know. We'll figure it all out. But guys, we want to know how you feel about this lineup. Oh my gosh, there are so many things coming out in 2025 on Disney. What are you excited about? Let us know which ones you are really jazzed for, which ones you're a little nonplussed for, which ones you're disappointed are going on Disney Plus instead of theatrical releases. Hit us with all your hot takes in the comments below.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.